right. Hello, everyone. I've got Ron here. I'll let him introduce his full name and what he does and what company he belongs to.
So my name's Ron Kinville. I'm a university professor of construction management at BYU, Idaho, and a general contractor licensed in the state of Idaho.
All right. And what is your company's name?
Kinville Enterprises. It's my own.
Oh, wonderful.
Yep.
So you are a university instructor and you own a construction company.
Yep.
Wow, you practice what you teach. That's good. All right. Okay, so now the question that I have, in your line of business, in your managing that business, what are the things that tend to be pain points that you wish they would be different in terms of processes that you if they were in a certain different way, what are they?
Invoicing is always tricky because that's the lifeblood of your company, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't get paid, you don't stay in business. And so you want to make sure that you have some form of invoicing that's easy and that you can, it's accurate, right? Yes. Estimating the same way, right? Yeah. If you're doing an estimate and you forget something, that's a problem because now it's coming out of your pocket. And so you want to be able to have something that helps with estimating. Change orders are a big deal. And invoicing, I think those are the big ones.
Invoicing, estimating, change orders are the big one. So and they are problematic. Is it more on the human side, like that people need to be a little bit more trained, or is it the software, or both in terms of how they are problematic, according to your knowledge? Well,
I think as humans, we make mistakes. Yeah. And so we rely on the software to remind us and help us so that we don't make mistakes. Okay. If we can have software that reminds us what we need to include in a bid, reminds us to do our change orders and get them billed and logged properly, and to invoice on time and accurately, boy, we're set. For me, I'm just a small builder, but anything that helps to automate the process, that helps me get things done more efficiently and more accurately, I think that's what it's all about. And so the software I use, it does a pretty good job. I think file management would be better, so I can more easily keep track of the jobs that I'm doing, and rather than do it all manually. So automation of file management, automation of maybe invoice numbering. I do my own invoice numbering, so it's kind of a small deal, but if they generated them automatically, I think that'd be nice. And then once again, anything that helps you remember not to forget something, because you don't want to leave money on the table. Yeah.
So automation, specifically on file management, that's where you would wish it. And those auto-generated numbers, the software you have doesn't do that.
No.
Okay, all right. And its strengths?
Well, it does all the calculations for me, so that's nice. I don't have to do the math.
Yeah. If I may ask, how big is your team, the back office?
It's me.
Oh, it's you.
Oh, yeah.
And then what about the site people? Do you have a couple of people that...
I'm a general contractor, so I either do the work myself, self-perform a lot of it, or else I hire subcontractors. Okay,
subcontractors. Yeah. All right. I'm going to shift gears a little bit. Now, in the construction industry, many people are skeptical about AI. And if you are one of those people, what do you think has to be done to make you go over that hump and, to say that, okay, they've got my attention? That is if you are skeptical. If you are not, tell me how it's useful to you and how you are embracing it.
So AI is a big issue in education because a lot of teachers, a lot of professional educators feel threatened by it, and they feel it's going to take the place of doing all the work for the students, so the students don't learn anything. But to me, AI is more like the calculator. Yeah. Right? When they came out with the calculator, all the math teachers thought, the students will never learn anything. But it just became a really good tool. Yes. And as long as we learn how to use it correctly, it helps us be more efficient, more accurate. Okay. So AI is the same way. If we use it effectively, it'll help us to be more accurate and more efficient. And so what we're doing is we're actually training our students how to use AI properly, because they're going to use it when they get out in the field. Yes. And I think AI is a great tool for brainstorming and for generating ideas, and for helping us be more complete in our proposals. And so AI is a great tool. I like it.
And do you use? Where do you use it mostly in your company, if at all you use it?
I use it mostly in education with my students. So I use it to generate. I use it in course creation, right? I use it to generate quizzes and tests and course content.
You don't use it in your construction business?
No, but I bet I could if I thought about it for a minute.
Yeah. Like proposals? Do you find it could be useful in that regard?
I bet it would. I've never used it as that, but I bet it would help to make better proposals.
You did say something about automation, file management. There's tools that do automation, especially when it comes to invoicing. Some starting point. I know Microsoft products, because most people trust Microsoft than others. You could do some things in automation. Just so you know, I'm just letting you know. And then also changing gears once again. With the looming supply chain, or rather tariffs that are likely to be imposed on Canada and Mexico and other countries, how likely is it going to affect your industry or your company, if at all? And what are you planning to mitigate against it?
I think we're going to see prices go up. Yeah. Between that and the destruction that we've seen with the fires in California and other storms, I think the supply is going to increase. I think the demand's going to increase, and the supply is going to be hindered by the tariffs, and I think we're going to see an adjustment in prices. And so, but for me, I'm small enough that I don't think, I just have to stay on top of my bids and make sure that I'm quoting accurately.
Okay. Do you find that, as with other people, they have to pass on the cost on to the customer?
It's going to go to the customer, sure.
Yeah, all right. And what products do you think are most likely to be affected? Are you aware of any products that you think this one is going to be hit?
Well, it seems like metals, right? They're putting a tariff on metals. So maybe wiring, electrical wiring, maybe lumber also, because I don't know that they're increasing the tariffs on lumber, but it could be. But we get a lot of lumber out of Canada, so we may see a little hit there.
Yeah. So, in your two professions, how does each feed off each other? And you being an educator as well as a general contractor, how do they feed off each other? Yeah.
So, for my purposes, I teach framing systems, I teach construction safety, so anytime I go out and build something, it's like professional development. And so I actually learn better how to teach. And so it works out really good. It's a great combination.
How did you come about that? How did your journey come from? Were you a contractor first and then educator second, or the other way around?
So I was in construction since I was 14. I built my first building for pay, right?
Yes.
And so I was building my whole life. I had a career in the truss industry, roof trusses, Yep. And then I dropped out of college when I was 24, so I could provide for my family. Mm-hmm. Had a great career in truss industry, and was able to go back to college when I was 44, got my bachelor's degree. Got my master's degree when I was 46, earned my doctorate degree at 55. Whoa. I've been teaching at the university for 15 years, and it's just, I'm being paid to teach my favorite hobby. It's wonderful.
And I like the fact that you were not discouraged to go back to school at the age of 44. For people out there who will be listening and they probably left it off, they're probably going to say, you know what, let me get back on track on this thing.
Absolutely.
That's very encouraging. Ron, nice talking to you.
Thank you. Nice talking to you too.
Bye. Yeah.